こんばんは。さあ、今夜もやっていきましょう。チャット GPT に英語を教わる枠です。なんかね、日によってこれ声変わるからさ、今日どんな声で来るかちょっとわかんないんですけど、まあ、どんな感じかちょっとやってみましょうかね。Good evening.
Hey, good evening. How's it going? Hope your day's been all right so far.
The last time you mentioned the phrase spot on. What does that mean?
Yeah, so spot on just means exactly right or perfectly accurate. So if I say something is spot on, it means it's just exactly what I was aiming for. No mistakes.
So, what's the difference between spot and dot?
Good question. So a spot is basically a precise point or place, like a location or a small mark. And on is just a preposition that tells you where something is. So together, spot on is like hitting exactly the right point.
I'm asking, what's the difference between spot and dot?
Gotcha. So spot is a noun that refers to a small mark or place, like a tiny location or a specific point. Meanwhile, dot is also a small mark, but it's often even tinier, like a period at the end of a sentence or a pixel on a screen. So they're similar, but dot is usually smaller and more precise.
But you don't say dot on.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. We don't say dot on as a phrase. Spot on is just a fixed expression that means exactly right. So even though dot is a small mark, it doesn't get paired with on in that same way.
Okay, so you meant exactly right. And
No worries. Yeah, exactly. If something is spot on, it's just perfectly correct or exactly what you needed. So if you have any other phrases you're curious about, I'm here.
I want to learn more casual phrases because I want to understand what the native speaker really means.
That's a great idea. Casual phrases are all about those natural, everyday expressions like no biggie, catch you later, or even I feel you. If you've got any specific situations in mind, I can throw some at you, or we can just explore day-to-day conversation.
What's no biggie?
Yeah. So no biggie is just a super casual way of saying no big deal or it's not a problem. So if something small happens and you don't want to make a fuss, you just say, no biggie.
Yeah, I like those kind of phrases.
Awesome. Yeah, there's a ton of them. Like you might hear no worries, all good, or even just for sure when people are confirming something casually. If you ever want more examples and context, just let me know.
What's all good?
Sure. So all good is another casual way of saying everything is fine or there's no problem. For example, if you apologize for something minor, someone might just say, hey, no worries, all good. And it just means they're cool with it, nothing to stress about.
Okay, I got it. Can you give me more examples?
Of course. So another one is no problem, which is super common. Like if someone thanks you, you can say, no problem. Or for sure, when you're agreeing, like you want to meet up? Yeah, for sure. And one more, my bad, which is just a casual way of admitting a small mistake, kind of like saying oops.
Yeah, I heard my bad.
Yeah, exactly. It's super common in informal conversations. So if you ever bump into something or mess up a little, just a quick my bad keeps it light and no big deal. So yeah, that's a great one of keeping in your back pocket.
No big deal is also like no biggie.
Exactly. They're basically interchangeable. Both just mean it's not a problem or nothing to worry about. So whether you say no big deal or no biggie, it's the same relaxed vibe.
Okay. Today I was talking about the Star Wars Episode 8.
Nice. Yeah, episode 8, The Last Jedi. There's a lot to unpack with that one. Did something in particular stand out to you or something you were thinking about?
Lot to unpack. What does that mean?
Good one. So when I say there's a lot to unpack, I just mean there are a bunch of different things or layers to think about or discuss. Like the movie might have a lot of plot points, themes, or character moments that need to be broken down.
Many people told me that episode 8 was not good.
Yeah, I know a lot of folks felt that way. Some didn't like the direction of the story or how certain characters were handled. But, some people really loved it too, so it's definitely a mixed bag.
Do you really think that some really love that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, some people really appreciated how bold it was, like the subversion of expectations and some of the risks it took with the characters. So, yeah, it's really split down the middle. Some loved it, some hated it, and a lot of people were just kind of in between.
As a Star Wars fan, that was contradicted to the context built up from the long history.
Yeah, I totally get that. I mean, some of the character arcs kind of clashed with the legacy of the original trilogy, especially Luke's. So from a longtime fan perspective, it did feel a bit jarring, like it wasn't fitting into the bigger saga as we expected.
There comes the new expression, bit jarring. What does that mean?
Good catch. So when something is a bit jarring, it means it's kind of abrupt or uncomfortable, like it sticks out in a way that doesn't quite fit. So it's like a sudden shift that feels off or strange compared to what you were expecting.
What's jarring originally mean?
Originally, jarring just means something that causes a sudden sharp movement or sound. It kind of jolts you. So in a broader sense, it's that feeling of something being off or out of sync, whether it's a sound, emotion, or a shift in a story or vibe.
Give me some example using jarring.
Sure. So for example, you might say, the sudden change in the music was really jarring. It didn't fit the mood at all. Or after years of using the same software, the new interface felt really jarring and hard to adjust to. So it's that sudden disruption that throws you off a bit.
Why you say jarring? Is there any original meaning?
Yeah. So the original meaning of jarring is all about a physical or sensory shock, like something that jolts you suddenly, almost like a loud noise or a sudden movement. Over time, we started using it more metaphorically to describe things that feel out of place or off, like a scene in a movie or a sudden shift in a conversation. So it's got that original physical sense, but now it's used for all sorts of abrupt changes.
Is abrupt sudden?
Yeah, exactly. So both abrupt and sudden describe something that happens quickly and unexpectedly. Abrupt often has this sharper, more jarring feeling, while sudden is just a general quickness, no real judgment to it. So both can work, but abrupt kind of has a sharper edge.
So abrupt has more like a kind of negative nuance for something suddenly happened.
Yeah, exactly. Abrupt often has a bit of a negative or uncomfortable feel, like it's unexpected in a way that kind of disrupts the flow. Sudden is neutral, just a fast occurrence. So it's all about that extra tone that abrupt adds.
I really want to grab such tiny nuance, and I can control the words correctly.
That's a really good goal. It just takes a bit of practice, listening to native speakers, picking up on those subtle vibes and seeing how they respond. If you keep paying attention to context and how words feel, you'll get there.
What the jolt means?
Good one. So a jolt is basically a sudden sharp movement or shock, like if you get jolted awake by a loud noise or a jolt of electricity. So it's that quick, surprising push that kind of grabs your attention.
I can't imagine what specifically jolt mean. Do you have any example?
Yeah, absolutely. So for example, you could say, the car hit a pothole and I felt a jolt as it bounced. Or when I saw the news, it gave me a jolt of surprise. I wasn't expecting it at all. So it's like a sudden physical or emotional shock.
Okay, it's a sudden physical or emotional shock. I got it.
Exactly. Yeah, you've got it. So just like a sudden jolt can shake you physically, like from a bump, your emotions can also get jolted by surprise, stress, or even excitement. So yeah, it's that sudden, impactful shift.
There was a site named Game Jolt.
Yeah, I think I remember that. GameJolt is a site where indie game developers share their projects, right? It's kind of a hub for free or early access games, so people can play them, give feedback, and connect with the devs.
So in this name, Jolt is included. What do you expect from this name?
That's a good point. I think when I hear Jolt in a name like that, I expect some kind of energy or a spark. Like it's going to be something dynamic, maybe a quick thrill, or something that surprises you, like a creative shock or a burst of innovation. So it kind of sets up this expectation of excitement or impact.
So the Jolt means not only shock, but also some impact.
Exactly, yeah. So it can carry that sense of a shock, but also a kind of wake-up call or a strong effect, like something that jolts you into action or gets you paying attention. So yeah, it's got a bit of that double meaning, both a prompt and a jolt of energy.
What's a prompt?
Right. So a prompt is basically something that encourages or triggers a response, like a cue, a nudge, or a suggestion that makes you take action or think in a certain way.
What's nudge?
Good one. So a nudge is kind of like a gentle push or encouragement. Not a big shove, just a subtle reminder or a small prompt to get you moving in the right direction. So it's kind of like a soft encouragement instead of a big sudden push.
Can you give me some example of nudge?
Of course. So for example, you might get a nudge from a friend saying, "Hey, don't forget to send that email." Or maybe a notification on your phone reminding you to take a break. It's just a small, gentle push to get you to do something.
No, I mean the example sentence including a nudge.
Got it. Sure thing. So for example, you could say, "I gave him a gentle nudge to remind him about the meeting." Or, "She gave me a nudge to start thinking about my career goals again." So it's that small, supportive push.
So the collocation is like a give.
Exactly. Yeah, we usually say give someone a nudge. So that combination is super common. You give a nudge to prompt them or remind them to do something, and it's just a really natural collocation.
What's the difference between prompt and urge?
Good question. So a prompt is more like a gentle suggestion or a cue. It's often subtle, like a reminder. An urge, on the other hand, is a stronger inner drive. It's like a push from within that makes you really want to do something. So prompt nudges you, but an urge kind of pulls you from inside.
So urge is not given from the other, but from the inside.
Exactly. Yeah, an urge is really internal. It's that strong feeling or desire that comes from you, not from someone else. So it's like an inner drive pushing you toward action.
What is the cue?
Right. So a cue is basically a signal or a hint that prompts you to do something. It can be a word, a gesture, or even just a subtle sign that lets you know it's time to act or respond. So it's like a little trigger to get you started.
What's this cue originally?
So originally a cue was a signal used in theater or performance, like a prompt for an actor to step forward or deliver their line. Over time, it grew to mean any kind of signal or hint, like a reminder to do something. So it's really just a trigger for action.
Is there any specific action of cueing?
Yeah, definitely. So in a theater, a cue might be when the stage manager says a line to prompt an actor. In everyday life, a cue could be something like a timer reminding you to take a break, or even a visual hint, like seeing a stop sign and knowing to pause. So it's just a signal that triggers you to take a specific action.
So the cue can be any action, but that's intending someone to do something.
Exactly. Yeah, the whole point of a cue is that it's designed to get someone to take a specific step or action. It could be a verbal prompt, a gesture, a sound, anything that signals, "Hey, it's time to do this now."
Okay. Does urge come from just inside? I maybe I remember someone said it urges me, but there's no expression like that.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So you're right, the urge itself is internal. You don't usually say it urges me. Instead, you'd say something like I feel an urge or I'm urged to do something. So the drive comes from you, but the wording is different. It's more about how you express that internal push.
Okay, I got the main idea of urging. It's from inside.
Exactly. You've got it. It's that inner feeling pushing you, not an external force. So once you recognize that, you'll be able to spot when it's just a personal drive inside you.
You use the drive.
Yeah. So drive is another great word for that inner motivation. When you feel a drive, it's like a strong impulse or determination pushing you forward. So it's really that inner fuel that keeps you going.
So urge is like drive.
Yeah, exactly. They're really similar. Both are internal forces pushing you toward action. Urge is often a bit more sudden or intense, while drive can be a longer-term, deeper motivation, but they both come from inside you for sure.
Okay, let's get back to the Star Wars topic. Actually, I don't remember well about episode 7, 8, and 9, but I just remember those were not good for me.
Yeah, I get that. The sequels really divided fans. Episode 7 was kind of a reintroduction, but 8 and 9 took some really unexpected turns. If you want, I can give you a quick refresher on the big plot points so it's clearer.
All I remember was the director changed. First, the episode 7 was directed by J.J. Abrams, and episode 8 was directed by another guy, and finally the episode 9 was directed by Abrams again.
Yeah, that's right. So episode 7 was J.J. Abrams, then episode 8 was Rian Johnson, and then Abrams returned for episode 9. And yeah, that shift in directors really gave the trilogy kind of an uneven tone. Some ideas were left hanging and it just didn't flow as smoothly.
So it smells Disney or some big power behind the scenes. And it's sad that Lucas didn't direct those series.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of fans felt that Disney had a big hand in shaping the story, and it kind of lost that personal spark that George Lucas had. So yeah, it's a bit bittersweet for a lot of longtime fans.
Not only directing, but also the script was written by different people, and episode 9 was mainly focusing on settling all their stuffs they messed up.
Yeah, exactly. So episode 9 really tried to rush through and tie up all the loose ends, especially after the mixed reception to 8. So it kind of felt forced, like they were backpedaling to fix things instead of having a smooth, planned arc.
There came new expression, arc. What is arc?
Good one. So an arc is basically a storyline or a character's journey over time, like a beginning, middle, and end. So a character arc is how a character changes, and a story arc is the full narrative progression from start to finish.
So you can say arc as a storyline.
Exactly. Yeah, it's basically the same idea. A storyline or a narrative thread that develops over a period, showing how characters or events evolve. So you'll often hear story arc when talking about a whole narrative journey.
What's narrative?
So a narrative is just a structured story. Basically the way events are arranged and presented, with a beginning, middle, and end. So it's how something is told, whether it's a novel, a film, or even just a personal anecdote.
What's anecdote?
Good one. An anecdote is basically a short personal story, something you share to illustrate a point or give an example. It's usually brief and about a real event from your life or someone else's, just a little snapshot moment.
I've heard the similar words like anecdote. What was that?
Yeah. You might be thinking of a parable or a vignette. A parable is a short, simple story that teaches a lesson, and a vignette is a brief descriptive scene or snapshot. So they're all small stories, but with slightly different purposes or styles.
those were not my options. Those were new to me, but you gave me new expression. Thank you.
I'm really glad that helped. Yeah, I know there are a bunch of these small storytelling terms out there, so if any other words pop up, just ask and we'll break them down.
By the way, are parable or vignette are common?
Yeah, they're pretty common, especially in literature or even in everyday conversation if people are trying to make a point. Parables pop up a lot in moral stories, think Aesop's fables, and vignettes are often used in novels or essays to give a brief, vivid snapshot. So yeah, they do come up pretty often.
Is parables or fables?
Good catch. So parables and fables are similar, but not exactly the same. A fable is usually a short story with animals or inanimate objects that teach a moral. A parable is a bit more human and realistic, but it also teaches a lesson. So both have morals, but they differ in style and characters.
I'm still looking for the word describing the story telling about someone. What was that?
I think you might be thinking of a biography or maybe a memoir. A biography is a story about someone's life written by someone else, and a memoir is a personal account of someone's own experiences. So that might be the kind of storytelling you're looking for.
Yeah, biography, that's right. What's the difference between biography and the anecdote?
Good question. So a biography is a full, detailed account of someone's entire life, usually written by someone else, while an anecdote is just a brief, specific story about a small moment or event. So a biography covers a whole life, and an anecdote is just a tiny slice of it.
Is anecdote written by someone else or someone themselves?
Good point. An anecdote is usually a personal story told by the person who experienced it. So it's often a brief lived moment from their own life, whereas a biography is researched and written by another person.
Few days before, I just read a piece of some book titled Born a Crime. Do you know it?
Yeah, absolutely. Born a Crime is Trevor Noah's memoir. It's really powerful. He talks about growing up in South Africa under apartheid and all the challenges he faced. It's a really gripping read.
It's a really good gripping read. In this context, what read means?
Great question. So in this context, a read just means a book or a piece of writing that's really engaging or absorbing. So when someone says it's a gripping read, they mean they just couldn't put it down. It really pulled them in.
It's interesting because usually read is read something, but in this context, you use it as a noun.
Yeah, exactly. So read can be both a verb, like when you're reading something, and a noun, like a book or an article that's worth reading. It's one of those flexible words that depends on the context.
So basically, when you use read as a book, that includes the meaning of it's worth reading.
Exactly. Yeah, when you say something is a good read or a gripping read, you're implying it's engaging and valuable. So it's not just what you're reading, but it's something you'd recommend because it really draws you in.
There comes the new expression, draws you in.
Yeah. So when we say something draws you in, we mean it captures your attention, kind of pulling you into the story or the experience, so you're really absorbed in it.
Actually, I'm drawn in by many things.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really cool. Sometimes a book, a show, or even just a conversation can totally draw you in, especially when it touches on something you're really passionate about. So yeah, I get that.
Maybe I should have said I was drawn by many things.
Yeah, exactly. That would be perfect. So you'd say, I was drawn by many things, and that keeps it in the past, just like you meant. Something that really captured your attention in a lasting way.
Should I say, yeah, I want to be just precise. When I want to say I was drawn in by something.
Yeah, you're on the right track. Just keep it simple. You can say, I was drawn in by, and then add whatever it is, like a story, a person, or a topic. That'll keep it precise and clear.
Okay, now I know what the draw in means.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a super handy phrase once you get the feel for it. So if anything else comes up or you want to fine tune your expressions, just let me know.
There comes new word, fine tune. I know that word regarding AI.
Yeah, exactly. So fine tune just means making small, precise adjustments to get something just right. In AI, it's when you tweak a model on a specific set of data so it performs better on a particular task. So yeah, it's all about those small, precise tweaks.
There comes tweaks again. Tweaks means minor change or something.
Exactly. Yeah, a tweak is just a small, subtle adjustment, like a minor change to improve something or get it just right. So yeah, it's all about those fine, careful modifications.
Is there any other meaning for tweak?
Yeah, definitely. So aside from small adjustments, tweak can also mean to fiddle or adjust something casually, like if you're adjusting a radio dial or even a recipe. So it's a pretty flexible word depending on the context.
What's fiddle?
So fiddle is kind of a casual verb that means to play around with something, usually adjusting it or tinkering with it. So you might fiddle with settings on your phone or fiddle with a radio dial. Just small, repeated adjustments until it feels right.
What's tinkering?
Good one. So tinkering is really similar. It's when you experiment with something, usually in a hands-on way, often making small adjustments or fixes. So like you might tinker with a gadget to see how it works or tweak it until it's just right.
I can't image. What's the image of twinkering?
Yeah, I get that. So imagine something like a person with their hands on a device or a small machine, adjusting knobs, opening it up, trying different parts. Basically, it's like being curious and hands-on, making little adjustments to see what happens.
Okay. What's knob?
So a knob is basically a small rounded control, like a dial you turn to adjust something, whether it's volume, temperature, or settings. So when you tinker with a device, often you're turning knobs to make those fine adjustments.
Can you give me some image of knobs?
I can't show images directly, but I can describe one. Imagine a circular knob, maybe on an old radio or a stove. It's a small round piece you put your fingers on and you twist it to increase or decrease something, like the volume or temperature.
I got the image of knob. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I'm glad it clicked. If anything else comes up, words, images, or ideas you want to break down, just let me know.
And now I remember the words doorknob.
Perfect. Yeah, exactly. Do a knob isn't really a fixed phrase, but if you're adjusting a knob, like turning it or fiddling with it, then all those subtle changes are part of that same process. So I'm glad the pieces are coming together.
Wow, I sounded wrong. I meant doorknob.
Gotcha. No worries at all. Yeah, a doorknob is just that handle you turn to open a door. So if you were thinking of that, yeah, it's the same. Just a small round control you twist.
I'm still looking at the sentences as you speak, but I want to catch all your words without watching the screen.
I totally get that. No problem at all. I'll keep my sentences a bit slower and clearer so you can just focus on listening. And if anything feels off or you miss a word, just let me know.
Now it's okay. Keep going.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll keep it at this pace then. If you ever need a recap or want me to break something down, just say the word and I'm happy to help.
Okay. Let's talk about something else. Today I went to barber shop, and is there any words describing barber shop?
Yeah, for sure. So a barbershop is basically a place where you get haircuts, often with a classic vibe. Sometimes they do shaves or beard trims too. You might also hear words like stylist or grooming if it's more upscale, but barbershop definitely captures that classic traditional feel.
Okay. Maybe I should say stylist, but it's not the shop itself, but someone.
Yeah, exactly. So a stylist is the person, like the barber or hairdresser who works in the shop. And then the barbershop is the place where they do the work. So yeah, so it's a good distinction. Stylist for the person, barbershop for the place.
But in Japanese, we distinguish sanpatsuya and 美容室. Is there any matching words in English?
Good point. Yeah, so in English, we don't always split them as neatly, but we can make the distinction. A barbershop is more traditional, mostly men's haircuts, while a salon or beauty salon is more general, like for women's hair, styling, and even other beauty services. So that's kind of the closest match we have in English.
What's grooming?
Good question. So grooming is a broader term. It can refer to taking care of your appearance overall, like haircuts, shaving, skincare, basically any kind of personal upkeep. So a barbershop or salon might focus on grooming as part of their services.
So, as a man, which word should I use? It's not a traditional barbershop.
Gotcha. Yeah, if it's more modern or unisex, you can just say a salon or a grooming studio. Those terms are pretty neutral, and they'll fit whether you're going for a haircut, beard trim, or just general grooming.
But I guess salon has similar but different meanings.
Yeah, you're right. Salon can sometimes feel more focused on women's beauty or hairstyling. If you're looking for something more gender neutral, you might say grooming studio, barbershop with a modern twist, or just a men's grooming lounge, something that signals a wider range of services.
Was there any different meaning of salon itself?
Yeah, so salon originally just meant a large room used for social gatherings, like a place for conversation, art, or intellectual discussion. Over time, they had evolved to mean a place for beauty treatments, so now it's mostly tied to hair, nails, and style services.
So they don't use salon as a social space anymore right now?
Yeah, not really in everyday language. I mean, historically, there were still those cultural gatherings, but nowadays when we say salon, almost everyone thinks of a beauty or hair salon. So the social meaning just isn't as common anymore.
Okay. Maybe I should use grooming. What was that? Grooming place? Grooming what?
Yeah. You can say grooming studio or just a grooming salon. That keeps it neutral and modern, and it works whether it's hair, beard, or general styling. So yeah, that would fit well.
Is grooming studio a common phrase?
Yeah, it's becoming more common, especially in places that offer a mix of modern haircuts, beard trims, and other personal care. So yeah, it's a nice, fresh way to describe a place that's focused on overall grooming.
But I remember that grooming has another meaning.
Yes, you're right. So grooming can also refer to personal hygiene or even in a different context to inappropriate behavior, like someone trying to manipulate or groom a person, especially a child. So definitely important to keep the context clear.
What does grooming a person, especially a child, mean?
Yeah, so in that context, grooming means building a relationship with someone, especially a child, to gain their trust, often with exploitative or abusive intentions. It's a really serious term and usually involves manipulation over time, so it's crucial to be aware of that distinction.
I was thinking another way. Was there any grooming for pet?
Yes, absolutely. So grooming for pets just means cleaning and caring for them, like brushing their fur, trimming nails, or giving baths. It's all about maintaining their hygiene and health.
What's hygiene?
So hygiene is basically the practice of keeping yourself or your environment clean to maintain health and prevent illness. So things like washing hands, brushing teeth, or in this case, grooming your pet for cleanliness.
What was the word like?
I think you might be thinking of personal care. So personal care is kind of a broad term for all those daily hygiene practices like grooming, washing, and general upkeep. So that might be the word you were trying to recall.
Not that one. I was just trying to remind me of the word describing pushing my hand on my pet's head and stroking. Was that stroking?
Yes, exactly. That's stroking. So when you gently run your hand over your pet's fur, that's stroking them. It's a calming, affectionate action that helps bond you with them.
Is there any other expressions like stroking?
Yeah, definitely. You could also say petting, which is similar, just giving them gentle touches, or even caressing if it's a bit more deliberate. So all of those express that kind of soft, affectionate touch.
Okay. So you just use petting to pets or not?
Exactly. Yeah, petting is the go-to word when you're talking about showing affection to animals. Just a gentle, repeated stroke or touch to calm them or let them know you care.
But not using against human.
Exactly. Yeah. With people, we usually use words like hugging, holding, or touching, but not petting. Petting is really just for animals. So it's good to keep that usage separate.
Now I got what petting is. And there is another word. What was that?
I think you might be thinking of brushing. So brushing is when you run your hand or a tool through fur, like with a pet brush. So it's still gentle, but it's more about grooming their coat than just petting.
No, not that one. Stroking, petting, and there was another word. What was that?
I think the word you're looking for might be cuddling. So cuddling is when you hold your pet close, kind of snuggling them, which is also really affectionate, just like stroking or petting.
Cuddling. It's familiar to me, but I don't know what exactly that means.
No problem. So cuddling is basically when you hold someone or something close in a warm, affectionate way, like wrapping your arms around them, being soft and close. With pets, it's kind of like snuggling them to give comfort and affection. So it's more about closeness and bonding.
What's snuggling?
Good one. So snuggling is really similar to cuddling. It's like getting close, wrapping yourself around them, and it's super cozy. So snuggling is just that really close, comforting kind of hugging or resting together.
So I want to distinguish petting and cuddling and snuggling. Oh, that's
申し訳
over.
ありません。高度な音声の1日あたりの上限に達しました。
早くねちょっと今日まだ38分じゃん。昨日1時間ぐらいいけたじゃん。何時間なのこれ？それとも今日は往復が多かったってこと？もう本当に今日の上限来たの？もう一回ちょっと押してみようか。
申し訳ありません。高度な音声の1日あたりの上限に達しました。
なんか片言なんだよなまあいいけど。なるほど。今日はちょっとだからなんつうの？美容室から始まって、撫でるとか、可愛がるとか、ちょっとスナグリングとカドリングが、いまいち、ちゃんとはつかめてないですけど、まあなんか優しくこう、なんていうんですか、こう抱き寄せるような、そんな感じなんですかね。ちょっとね、こうやっぱ、ビジネス英語とかであんま出てこないような日常的な言葉に僕弱いなっていうのをものすごい感じてて、今回まさにそれが出ましたね。で、なんかさ、今一瞬バグったのがさ、BGM が急に止まったんだけど、これ多分、あれだね、ブラウザーのこのボタンを押したときに、プレイヤーがちょっと影響を受けて、ウィーンって止まったんだけど、いや、今日はね、割と日常英会話に近い言葉がいっぱい出てきましたけど、後でまあこれちょっと振り返ってブログにしてねって言って、ブログにまとめてもらいますんで、今回覚えた表現とか、まあ、ちょっと AI ね、はしょったりするんだけど、なるべくこの会話の、なんていうかエッセンスがつかめるような感じできっちりまとめてもらおうと思います。ちょっと早いですけど、40分か。まあ、もう上限来ちゃったんでしょうがないですね。今日はこれで終わろうと思います。ご視聴ありがとうございました。おやすみなさい。